What's up, y'all? I'm Mason, and this is
J-Dub.
we're bringing you the Final Call movie review show. Today we're doing Sausage Party, the new Seth Rogen movie. Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill, and they got this idea years and years ago, and then Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, Seth Rogen's primary writing partner, worked on it for like a decade. At least this is what they tell me on the Stern Show. So, from what I can tell, this is a thought-out flick. It's basically a Pixar movie about food in the grocery store. And the food in the grocery store thinks when it leaves the grocery store, it goes to the heaven, almighty, whatever, some wonderful place, when in reality, they're all getting eaten. But Seth Rogen's character is a sausage, and he falls in love with Kristen Wiig's character, who's a hot dog bun, and they want to be together. You know, I mean, who doesn't, right? Kristen Wiig. Yeah. But anyway, the whole point is, this is a cool movie. It's really funny. It looks like a Pixar movie, and it flows like a Pixar movie. And conceptually, it very well may even be in the Pixar universe. Who knows? It could fall in there. But as it is, it's done by some alternate company, and it's really well done. The whole thing's put together well. I laughed a lot. I thought it was intellectually stimulating cartoon. My favorite kind. What do you think?
Well, the animation aspect, the fact that it's a parody of your Pixar or your DreamWorks or any other cartoon companies that you have out there these days, that part I got. And I did enjoy that a lot, that aspect of it. The movie itself does have a semi-thought-provoking message that's kind of underlying that I thought was pretty stimulating, to say the least. And there were a couple of good hard laughs in there that I really got. What I was expecting from the trailer was that it was more going to be about the eating of the food and how we're going to get revenge on this. Those parts of the movie I found very entertaining, with the firewater and the storytelling. But aside from that, I felt that the movie as a whole, it relied way too much on the sex and the profanity jokes, which is far-fetched for me to say, because when it comes to profanity in movies, it can be far out there. I mean, to be a Quentin Tarantino fan, that goes to show how far a movie can go with its profanity. But I think this one just went, there is a line, and this one just crossed it just by a bit. And the sex part...
See, I think that the sex and the intellectual content is overstimulating on purpose. It's over that line completely on purpose, and it's done about as well as you can go over one of those lines. Because the lines are sexual, the lines are political and religious. They touch on a lot of elements of the real world in a very humorous way, but also a really real way, which is why people get offended by it. And the fact that they went that far, took it to that level, and no apologies about it, straightforward, if you don't like it, go fuck yourself kind of approach, I have a lot of respect for as an overall film. So I definitely liked it, and I definitely would recommend it.
That being said, I wouldn't completely give it a bad score. It's not thoroughly disappointing by any means. A lot of audiences are completely loving this movie. I wouldn't completely say don't go see it. I would say Redbox it, maybe, if you feel like going to see it at the theater. If you absolutely feel like you must see it at the theater, pick up a matinee. It's not a complete loss by any means, so I'd give it a 56 out of 100. It's far from the worst thing that I've ever seen in the theater, and way far from the unfunniest thing. So it's, like I said, it's not a complete loss, not to keep nailing that one home.
For me, I laughed throughout it. I found the references to be completely on point. The Firewater character has a real Hunter S. Thompson vibe.
Yes.
I loved that.
Yes.
And I found myself laughing hard and uproariously throughout the movie, which is difficult. I don't laugh at comedies very often very hard, and I laughed throughout this movie. I like that edgy, make some people uncomfortable and other people write letters and be offended kind of comedy. So for me, I'd give it I'd go with a 75. You know, I'd go with a 75. I liked it a lot, and I definitely recommend if you have the time and you want to see a raunchy, offensive comedy in the theater. This is by far the most raunchy, offensive, best comedy to see in the theater. So I say theater, and I suppose that's it.
Yeah. Speaking of offensive, I was not offended by it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not offended by it.
Yes, I wasn't either, but I could definitely see some people being offended.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't take your kids. Whatever you do, that's
Yeah, you should be at least 13 before you watch this.
yes.
And that's still way too early.
That's pushing it. That's being generous.